Hello there.
This up even if I wanted to. Yeah, even wanted to. Oh man, what a banger, what a banger. That Alone at Prom, Tory Lane's album, like I said multiple times on the channel, one of my favorite albums of all time. And that 80s sound replicated to perfection. Replicated to perfection. What's going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, a 25-year-old law and film student here in Sydney, Australia. Absolutely shooting your shot. And today, we are bringing to you another reaction of The X-Files. And we are up to episode 15 of season 5. Not long to go now until we are up to the very first movie of the series. I believe last time we did a movie for a TV series was Firefly, right? With Serenity, yeah? I think so. I think so. That and El Camino for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But yeah, we are nearly up to the midway point of the X-Files with the movie, with season 5. It is, I think we've crossed the midway point now. I'm not too sure. But anyway, it has been an unbelievable journey. That, I feel like season 3, 4, 5, we've hit peak X-Files. Like, we have really, 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 found our way with this show. Like, I've absolutely loved it since the very first episode anyway. But yeah, in terms of like the mythology episodes and the overarching storyline, season 3 to 5 so far has picked up. And I'm guessing, with the last 2 episodes we've just watched with Patient X and the Red and the Black, you can see the framework or the early building blocks for what the major plot line is going to be for the film. So yeah, this episode is titled Travelers. We're going to get into it. Is it going to be another mythology episode, or is it going to be a return to, the X-Files cases themselves, Mulder and Scully on their day-to-day investigations, maybe a little bit of a breather before we get back into the mythology episodes gearing up towards the movie. So yeah, let's see, let's find out. This one's titled Travelers. Like I said, we're going to get into the reaction. We're going to have some fun with this thing, and as always, let's absolutely smash it. Let's go. 1990. Ooh. So funny enough, today is Sunday, the 7th of September, and it's Father's Day, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I uploaded X-Files on Thursday and Friday. I recorded uploaded back-to-back days. And on Saturday, yesterday, I didn't upload X-Files. But we've still been uploading a video a day no matter what. But I was just like, I don't want to go 2 days without the X-Files. I feel bad. So I'm recording this on Father's Day, and hopefully I can get it out today. But on the last 2 episodes of Mythology episode, I want you guys to let me know, what do you guys think of Mulder's behavior? Mulder, in terms of like his extraterrestrial beliefs, it's been the focal point of this series. I mean, we opened up with him, the first episode itself was, I believe, an alien abduction or an alien experiment with the two markings, or like, yeah, the 2 dots, on the people's necks that were allegedly abducted. And his story in terms of like what happened to his sister has been a real focal point throughout the series. Now, seeing him like that in those 2 episodes, like, I get it. I get the character development, or what they're trying to go with the roles being reversed. But I felt like with Mulder, it was so extreme in terms of like, he wasn't even, with Scully being the skeptic throughout the series, she was at least open-minded to listening to Mulder, and Mulder was just, so stubborn those 2 episodes, up until, the talk with Krychek and Mulder going in the truck, and we are yet to see what happened to Mulder, after that experience in the truck, how he's going to deal with that. But yeah, it was just, I kind of knew we were going to go down this path with Mulder losing a little bit of faith. I didn't expect it to be that extreme in terms of like losing all sense of hope, and not even, giving, his partner Scully, who's been with him life or death for the last 5 years, the time of day, not even letting her in a little bit. Also, the Scully scene where she was doing the hypnotherapy, I didn't want to say it in the reaction, but like, the way she was saying, "Oh my god," like, it kind of, like, I don't know if this is a joke amongst the X-Files fans, but it kind of like sounded like orgasm style. I'm not gonna lie, it's just like, I was a bit thrown off by the reaction, and they didn't do it just once with like the "oh my god" like flash. It was multiple times, and Yeah, I just thought that acting by Gillian Anderson there was kind of interesting. Like that's how I'm gonna leave it. Anyway, let's get into the reaction. Let's get into the reaction. I'm just so hyped to watch X-Files. I love it. I love it. Getting flashbacks to home here. Also, please listen to this. I don't want to pause anymore unless I need to talk about the reaction itself. But last week, I haven't said this in the X-Files reaction yet. I forgot to say it in the mythology episodes we just watched. I was playing Call of Duty last week, and I was filling in to random quads. So I was playing by myself, and I was filling into random quad teams. And the guy on my team, his name was the X-Files 666, and the number, the less said the better. But I saw the X-Files 666. I'm like, oh, hang on a sec. And we had game chat on. I'm like, bro, oh, X-Files name, what's up? I'm like, do you watch the show? He goes, bro, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I have a tattoo of the X-Files. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I'm like, I'm watching it for the very first time. And, I'm reacting to it on my YouTube channel, and it was just such a cool interaction like that. We were just talking about the X-Files. I was telling him what I was up to in season 5. At that point, I had just watched what episode was it? I can't remember. It was like episode 6 or 7 of the X-Files. And I was telling him, I was like, oh, bro, I just watched this episode and this is what I'm up to at the moment in season 5. And I'm, nearing towards the movie. And, I've been watching it for the first time on my channel, and I interact with my subscribers on the Discord. And he was just like so passionate about it, and he was so excited. And yeah, he was from Melbourne, so a different state in Australia. But it was such a cool interaction to have. I was like, oh my gosh. And, we're like nearly 5-7 minutes into this reaction, and I haven't even watched 10 seconds of the episode itself. I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk about it. It was like such a fun interaction to talk with an X-Files fan, and we talked about other shows as well and movies, and we talked about Alien Earth as well because we were both watching that. We're both up to date at the time with Alien Earth, and we're talking about the show itself and our opinions on it. So yeah, it was just such a cool story.
It's like nobody's home. Bedroom's back that way.
Listen, as a police officer, I would, and I was in the X-Files universe, I would never enter a house alone. Unless I'm John Wick, maybe. But like this, even with someone else, I'd call for backup immediately. I don't care. I'm taking all the precautions to give the best chance, to give myself the best chance of survival.
What is it?
Damn.
Ain't nothing but a glove. No reason to.
Damn, man, that looks like something you'd see in Alien. Bro's being whoa. Don't tell me he shot the guy. Not Mr. Skur, the other guy. No, it wasn't. Is he saying Mulder?
Mulder.
Interesting. That police officer looks like the guy from Space. Remember that episode?
Do you know what an X-file is?
It's an unsolved case.
No, it's a case that's been designated unsolved.
Mr. Dales, most of your report has been censored, as you can see.
They hunted communists in America in the 40s and 50s. They found practically nothing. You think they would have found nothing unless nothing was what they wanted to find?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't see the connection.
Maybe you're not supposed to.
Damn. So is this entire episode here taking place in 1990 before Scully? And that explains her absence this episode so far?
And the untold numbers of fellow travelers working in our own state.
Because this would be an interesting episode in terms of like its placement in the season, with Mulder, with us not knowing, oh yeah, Mulder's father at the presence at the J. Edgar Hoover hearing or
I
whatever.
brought you some coffee.
Yeah, because I feel like coffee does wonders. But yeah, it seems like this is an interesting placement here, especially going on the back of last episode with how Mulder, you know, how his demeanor was after that interaction, you know, in the semi-trailer truck, you know, before entering the car with Scully. And then we get a deep dive here into Mulder's sort of research on his dad's past, or like a more of an investigation into his dad's past. And yeah, how it ties into this murder here that's happened. So yeah, it's quite interesting because this would be the second pre-X-Files sort of episode, because we had one with the unusual suspects with the Mulder finding the lone
Edward
gunman.
Skur died saying a name, my father's name.
Go ask your father.
My father and I don't really speak.
I told you I can't help you.
Mr. Dales, I want the truth, and I will subpoena you to get it if I have to. The men that Edward Skur killed 38 years ago. Was my father involved?
The Syndicate, man.
How?
Scar killed this man the way he did all the others. All the soft tissue, internal organs, ligature, all were removed without tearing the skin.
Great, mummifying him.
The coroner wasn't able to determine how.
Oh, I can tell you
Is that Mulder smoking?
how. But I can't tell you. To us, Skur was just another name on a list.
1952.
Another communist spy at the State Department. We had no idea who or what Edward Skur really was.
May I help you?
My name's Arthur Dales, ma'am. I'm with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
No way, we've seen him before.
This is my partner, Agent Michael. Is your husband in?
I've seen that actor
What do you
before.
want with him?
Supper's getting cold, sweetheart. I'll take care of this.
Guy look like Casey Affleck.
Edward Skur.
Yes.
You're under arrest for contempt of Congress. Failure to appear before the committee.
I'm a family man, for God's sake.
Well, you should have found out before you decided to betray your country, Red.
Edward?
I'm sorry,
Get out.
Damn, we really been transported back to the 1950s.
Jeez, Louise, what'd you do?
That looked like the same restaurant Skinner was shot. You know, by what's his name? Luis Hernandez, before Scully went all on his ass. I don't know what's going on. Did you kill my sister? That looked like the same restaurant layout. I don't know. It's just, my mind looked at the layout and I was like, oh damn. I'm probably wrong, but like,
I'd probably be drier if I had. Got something to warm me up?
Where's your partner?
He's processed in prison.
I recognize this actor from somewhere.
You guys still busting Reds?
So Mr. Hoover tells us different.
Don't tell me he's gonna
And then
fall in love with
then
Skur's
I
missus.
saw someone I shouldn't.
Okay, my bad.
I couldn't have seen.
We saw Skur back from the dead, allegedly.
Now it was my life that we turned upside down.
Edward Skur!
Unless it's a clone. Or a bounty hunter. Damn, man! What is this, an Extreme Rules match? Oh.
Down there!
Like Edward Skur, maybe that's how he gets rid of victim's organs with that alien parasite, whatever it's in him.
Maybe you want to change your description of the suspect who assaulted you.
He as dead as dead.
When were these taken? Last night. 2 hours before you say Skur attacked you.
I love the 50s production design and aesthetic, and obviously you get the different lighting in the background. It's like overly, what's the word?
Good.
It's overly exposed.
Agent Dales, have a seat.
Now, obviously, I think we're getting another episode like this with Scully being absent. Obviously, we're traveling to the past, no pun intended. I think is due to probably Gillian Anderson needing to do her scenes for the movie, because that's what this season has been gearing towards. Definitely building up to the movie, and you've seen that in some of the episodes with noticeable absences or little appearances from Mulder or Scully. That's why we had the usual suspects. That's why in some episodes we had a very Scully centric episode on vacation. But I like this type of episode either way. Like, I'm vibing with a little bit of history, baby Mulder, junior Mulder before the X-Files, and delving deep into the history of his father, or something that ties his father to the early foundings of the FBI, or J. Edgar Hoover. And I also think it fits in with, like I said, the placement with how Mulder was feeling at the end of last episode. Because we just came off the back of an arc where Mulder was faithless in his belief of the extraterrestrial. He shut down every argument that Scully or anyone else tried to explain to him. Even Skinner said, the extraterrestrial explanation here might be the most probable one, and not Mulder's, military hoax or conspiracy that he believed from the Redux arc. And I like the placement here going off the back of this, because we get junior motivated Mulder, pre-X-Files, I'm guessing, the unusual suspects as well. Just delving deep a little bit into the history of his father, and, a case that's unsolved. And, with this Agent Dales guy, and Mulder maybe hearing or learning about the term X-File for one of the very first times. I think the placement fits really well.
You know who I am?
You prosecuted the Rosenbergs. Now you're working with Mr. Hoover and Senator McCarthy.
Then you know how important my work is. How vital it is to the future of this country. These rats, these vermin who dare call themselves Americans, be exposed as the traitors they are.
And also, I want to say, I watched the series Boardwalk Empire recently, last year on the channel. I love that show. I absolutely adored that show. The performances, the production design, the history of it. I like, whether it's historically 100% accurate. Obviously, it's not. It really isn't. But the characters are, and a lot of it, like I said, it's the depictions could have been a bit more accurate from what I've heard. But like, it's loosely true. And towards the end of that series, you get the implementation of or you get the introduction of J. Edgar Hoover, and what he was trying to do in the 30s or 40s, I believe. And then now that's being dropped here as well in the 50s in the X-Files. And I just see, like, I like to think of it as like the same universe. It's a similar tie-in here with J. Edgar Hoover, or like Hoover continuing his workings. I like that.
Interest myself in politics, Mr. Cohn.
I didn't articulate myself well there, but yeah.
Everything is political, Agent Dales.
Facts.
Like this report you filed this morning. We've spoken to Mrs. Skur and the neighbors. You seem to be the only person who can identify that man as Edward Skur.
Do you believe me then?
We are fighting a powerful enemy in a war of ideology. In any war, there are secrets, truths that must be kept from the public in order to serve the greater good.
You want me to amend my report?
That's a zip it. That's a zip it look right there. Hush, hush.
Take out any reference to Edward Skur?
Keep it on the down low.
I don't understand.
You're not supposed to understand. You're supposed to follow orders.
That's an above your pay grade look right there. Unknown, baby.
Nails?
Yeah.
Following orders.
Pull that file.
All right, thank you.
Like I said, I recognize the actor that plays
Dales.
Dales from other stuff, and I'm not sure if he's been in an episode of the X-Files before. But he's a pretty good actor. He has real on. Amend your report. It's all blacked out.
An expense report or used a bureau car to drive home, so lying didn't sit well with me, even if I was under orders. I wanted to leave behind the business of Edward Skur and never hear that name again, but it was too late. By then, Skur had already become a murderer.
Homicide call came in from Chevy Chase PD. Advise and assist.
Well, where are they?
Must have come and gone.
Like I said, I get Boardwalk Empire feels with this episode so far, and I'm not complaining at all. Love being transported to the 50s. The costumes, his partner, everything. It's so good. There you go. Add that to the mix of X-File or type of X-File episodes you can get. Timepiece X-Files.
I know this song.
There you go. I got 6 ounces of German shrapnel in my can, and this crowd got to shake hands with the president?
What's that? You smell that?
Yeah, kinda. Hospital smell. Formaldehyde, maybe?
Coming off the back of serving in World War II, going into the FBI. Straight mummifying them, man, with whatever's inside him.
Well-connected dead crowd.
Damn, they look like they've been deflated.
Hands in the air! Over there! Over there! Come on, now, fellas! FBI! FBI!
Credentials in my front coat pocket. Hey, easy on the material. I'm Agent Michael. This is my partner, Agent Dales.
It was the man, Agent Mulder, you came here to ask me about.
I love the narration from the older Dales. The bright neon lighting. Even with the lack of, like, we know this is a Mulder-centric episode, but even with the lack of Mulder, because we're following Dales,
No,
the guy who plays Dales is still carrying this episode really well.
but I came here to warn you about it.
Like you warned that doctor you murdered in Chevy Chase?
I tried to save that man, but I was too late.
Skur killed him?
He'll kill you too.
Oh no, his partner's next. Agent Michael's next. No! No!
Myrtle?
Why did they put out that story about him hanging himself?
Because they had to do something to cover up what they'd done to him. Label him a communist. Say he killed himself and put him someplace where no one's even gonna look for him.
Hey,
But his
Dale's,
escape threatens everything.
Dale's just another Mulder.
What?
Trapped in time.
What did they do to him?
Learning of a larger conspiracy.
Look, you asked me here.
Secret
And
meetings.
I risked my career and my family by coming here. But the crimes these men have committed against innocent people, I can't have that on my conscience anymore. Someone needs to know the truth.
Who are you?
My name's Mulder. I work at the State Department.
Oh. I forgot. Is that the younger actor that played Mulder earlier? I was thrown off. That's Mulder's daddy.
Attaboy, tail gunner. Give him hell. Myrtle.
He doing them deep throat and X meetings with Dales.
Cat.
Who is this they you want me to arrest?
You can't arrest these men.
Why not?
It's political.
Everything is political.
What are you telling me? Are you telling me that Mr. Cohen and Senator McCarthy are involved in this? Is Skur after them too?
Skur wants vengeance for what they did to him. He's a killer now. He can only guess at the dimensions of this conspiracy. But he thinks you're part of it. You and your partner.
I knew we should have got a dog.
No, Agent Michael.
Come on.
We've got to dig and root out the communists and the groups.
Phone's been disconnected. Damn, man. Whatever parasite they put in him, ooh.
You sure a man did this?
Lost his partner.
I suppose, you could have force-fed him a corrosive agent of some kind, an acid maybe.
Agent Dales.
Here comes the politics.
Hey, where do you think you're taking that? This man's a veteran. The body goes to Bethesda. Howard, take care of this.
Mr. Cohen, these men are going to the county morgue. An autopsy needs to be performed.
Come here. You want to test me. See how fast I can pull the chain and flush you. You want to see your name on a list? Are you now, or have you ever been?
What are you talking about? I'm no communist.
You are if I say you are.
There we go. The threats. The abuse of power.
This is a matter of national security. Take this body out of here. Get it out.
Right.
You're a patriot again.
This Mr. Cohen brother is frustrating, man. He is frustrating. He belongs with the CSM. he sounds more frustrating.
A piece of you dies with him. I'd been threatened by Mr. Cohen, but I couldn't leave it alone. Not while Michael's killer was still out there. Not if I wanted to live with myself. Finding out what happened to them at least might help me understand what Skur had become. Understand how my partner was killed.
But surely their files would have been amended as well. Yep.
The deposition that names Edward Skur and these other two men as communists.
It's all censored.
By the committee. To protect the identity of the witness.
I want to see their files, Gissing and Oberman.
I already checked. They're missing. But I recognize one of these names. It's in an X file.
An X file?
Yes, unsolved cases. I file them under X.
Why don't you file them under U for unsolved?
That's what I did until I ran out of room. Plenty of room in the X's.
Who decides when a case gets an X?
The director's office. It's kind of a dead end. No one's supposed to see them, but makes for interesting reading.
Let's make a show about it.
Guess he didn't much care for his treatment.
They think he killed his doctor and then killed himself? How did Gissing kill this man?
That's why it's an X file. They don't know.
They don't know, or they don't want you to know.
You're lucky Gissing's body's still here. The VA's been trying to have it transferred.
Why haven't they?
Yeah, this fellow's a bigwig in the State Department. His family's been kicking up a stink. Wait a minute, those are sutures. Whatever this is, someone put it there. Oh, gee.
Damn.
Whoa. Oh. 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 My God.
Against his will.
Whatever was done to my husband, you're part of it.
According to VA records, your husband underwent surgery for war injuries. So did two other men that he worked with at the State Department.
And that's where the experiment was
But the
done on them.
surgeries that they received, it wasn't what they thought it was. It had nothing to do with their war injuries.
Then what was it?
It's called xenotransplantation. It's the grafting of another species into the human body. It's a procedure that Nazi doctors experimented with during the war, and I believe that they continued their work here, using your husband and these other two men as unwitting test subjects. I want to expose what was done to your husband, Mrs. Skur. I can't do that unless I have his help.
That's gangster. Put the top hat back on and walk away. Agent Dale's a badass.
Get in.
One episode in, and this Agent Cone, brother,
Just get in.
or Director Cone, is already a thorn in my side, man. There's Mulder. At least we know Dale survives. No way she'd been housed in her apartment, just her husband in the back of the house like that. You got a nuclear bunker.
I can't help myself anymore.
Oh, bye-bye, Mrs. Skur. Four kids, man. 3 kids gonna wake up to no mommy or daddy.
You sit there.
Hey, the lighting here reminding me of that Scully scene.
Mr. Director,
Leave us.
Is this Hoover? Pretty sick if it is. Yeah, this lighting with the little lamps reminding me of that scene with Scully and the FBI.
In 1945, at the time of the first conference to map out the peace after the Second World War, there lived within the Soviet orbit 180 million people. Lined up on the anti-totalitarian side at that time were 1,625,000,000 people. Today, Mr. Dales, just 7 years later, there are 800 million people under the absolute domination of Soviet Russia, an increase of over 400%. On our side, the figure has shrunk to around 500 million. The threat of global communist domination is a reality that can be ignored only at the risk of our own annihilation.
The men we arrested weren't communists.
If we are to defeat the enemy, we must use their tools. We must go further. We must do those things which even our enemies would be ashamed to do.
See, that ties in as well to the episodes we saw in season 3 with Edgar Hoover saying, I believe this is J. Edgar Hoover, with what, happened in season 3. Obviously, we know there's the alien stuff going on in the background of the show, the alien war, the alien colonization. But remember, we saw those humans with the alien heads in the concentration camps. And that guy from the Syndicate was telling Scully, it's not alien stuff, it's just human on human stuff. That probably branched from here with what Edgar Hoover was saying. We must go through great lengths to defeat our enemies and do stuff that even they would be ashamed to do. And it starts with this Xeno transplantation here, as we've seen in this episode, like the early signs of that type of experimentation, that human on human experimentation. And I love this episode, man. I absolutely love this episode. I love seeing sort of like the inner workings or the early developments of the FBI and them conducting these experiments. Now, I'm not too sure if they know about the alien stuff yet. I'm guessing they do, because the black oil, I believe, came from an asteroid or, a meteorite in the early 1900s. But this is just one of those experimentations that's being conducted with this sort of alien parasite or whatever it is. And this episode's lighting has been absolutely fantastic. Like the lights themselves, like the things that emanate light, whether it be like lamps or like the neon lights, they're overly exposed or saturated. I don't know what the right term is. Like you can tell there's like a bright halo around them. They're very exposed. And the characters themselves in this episode, lots of shadows And the way, Hoover was staring out of the window right there, covered in shadow. You don't really get to see him as he's talking first before he turns around. Really ties into what this episode's trying to say about the government cover-ups, the conspiracies, how everything is political, and them working in the shadows. I love this episode. I love this episode.
It is only through strength that we can make our enemies fear us and thereby ensure our own survival.
Also ties into like even the Russia-America
you have
stuff.
One chance, Mr. Dales,
with the syndicate, and the Russians trying to find a vaccine for the black oil
to serve your country.
And what they're doing. It goes both ways. Both are doing inhumane stuff on humans. And I gotta commend this episode as well. What I love about it is obviously we've had very little Mulder this episode, but it still ties into Mulder and his dad. No Scully at all, because I'm guessing it was for the movie. Both of them probably filming scenes for the movie, so they had little time to have him for a full episode. But either way, the characters that have carried the 50s scenes this episode, sorry, the characters that have been portrayed in the 50s this episode have really carried the scenes. Like they have really carried this entire episode well. And the guy that plays Dales is fantastic. I think I've seen him before in other stuff, like I've said. I'm not sure if he's appeared in the X-Files previously as well. But very familiar face. But yeah, this is a testament to the X-Files and how great it is. Like, for instance, Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man. You can deal with a side character, and that side character can carry his own episode, like this one here.
Make your meeting with Skur. Let him think you're alone. Put him at ease. We'll be in when the time is right.
But we know he doesn't get to Skur for another 38 years.
Me, Mr. Mulder? Make me your stalking horse?
There you go. I turned the lights off out front. Just pull the door shut when you go. Thanks for your help. Anything to help out the Bureau.
Damn, I love the neon pink lighting in the background here as well. Lovely wide shot from the corner of the room as well, the corner of the bar. Very atmospheric, even in the 50s. Gotta love it. So is this episode hinting at that potentially...
Did you come here to kill me? Or save me?
Dales is the founding father of the X-Files?
They're not coming, you know. They wanted me to kill you, or you wouldn't be here. You're part of their test now, too.
I don't want to kill you.
The actor who plays
I know.
younger Skur looks familiar too.
Mulder.
Following orders. Poke his eye, man. Wait, why does Mulder have a wedding ring on or an engagement ring? What the heck?
I can't believe my father threw in with these men.
Wait. What? Was Mulder engaged before the X-Files? Like, was he married and then, he got divorced before the X-Files? Yo, okay.
He let them dictate his conscience.
Oh, don't fool yourself.
That hair is crazy.
None of us are free to choose. I was ruined for my insubordination. You keep digging through the X-Files. We'll bury you too.
That tells you what else could Mulder find in the X-Files.
Skur died saying my father's name. Why?
I haven't the faintest idea.
All ties back into the syndicate.
Well, there was one thing you didn't explain was how Skur was able to get away, how he was able to live in obscurity for the last 38 years.
38 years? My God. Well, I kept hearing things through the years, you know, of people tell me things. I heard that he was dead, that he had been kept in some secret lab while he finished up the experiment. I even thought that maybe some poor innocent bastard, somebody with a conscience, might have let him go.
Was that Mulder's daddy? Some poor innocent bastard with a conscience might let him go. Mulder's dad. That's why he said Mulder's
Why
name.
would anyone do that? Why let a killer go free?
In the hope that by letting him live, the truth of the crimes that were committed against him and the others might someday be exposed.
Bro, that extreme wide long shot of Mulder walking away from Skur with Dales' narration at the end, that's cold. That's cold. Oh, I love that episode. I love that episode. Not sure about Mulder wearing a wedding ring or an engagement ring. What the heck is that about? But yeah, that was a great episode of The X-Files, man. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. I enjoyed, like I said, maybe because I'm coming off the back of watching Boardwalk Empire last year, and I loved, like I said, going back to that time period. So when The X-Files does it, I, love it just as much. And yeah, this episode had everything, like I said, everything that you want about The X-Files. The origins of The X-Files themselves, how Dales learned of The X-Files, and maybe is it alluding to him being the founding father of The X-Files? And yeah, you see the origins of that this episode in terms of like the other FBI agent lady or the secretary saying, I just I put him in the X, and that's why the X-Files, man, because I ran out of space in you. Cases that are unsolved. Or wanted to be unsolved. Or unexplained. I love that. And then everything that ties into the larger government conspiracy, the syndicate, Mulder's dad, J. Edgar Hoover, human on human experiments with, potential alien stuff. Fantastic episode, man, of The X-Files. The lighting was superb as well. Yeah, very atmospheric. And the actor who played a young Agent Dales definitely carried this. Both of them did well. But yeah, you saw why Mulder had little scenes. It was still a Mulder-centric episode, obviously dealing with his father and his workings with the syndicate and what he did earlier on. But Mulder obviously had a very little presence this episode himself. And we went back to 1990 because obviously probably with the movie and Scully being absent completely because of probably her scenes in the movie. But I like that we went back to 1990 and not followed, because they probably didn't have the time or resources to have both Gillian and David for a full-blown X-Files episode post the Red and the Black. So why not do a timepiece episode, and a fantastic one nonetheless, of the origins of the X-Files and, back to the 1950s on Mulder's early workings. And like I said, I think the placement is fantastic. In terms of Mulder learning about the early origins of the X-Files, coming off the back of him losing his faith and possibly regaining it at the end of the Red and the Black. So yeah, I love that episode of the X-Files. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.